Blessed morning to my brothers and sisters in Christ. On behalf of Faith, Hope, Love Hospice Care Ministry, I bring you our warmest greetings. And we really thank God for the continuous support of Bangsar Gospel Center and the given opportunity today to share with you what is hospice care and what is this Christian-based hospice care ministry. Please allow me to just introduce again very quickly my co-workers and volunteers who are here. I just tell you their roles. Nurse Kong is one of our full-time hospice nurse. Nurse Angeline is our hospice coordinator. And we have two volunteers with us, is Reverend Ling and also our brother Terence. Thank you. And as for myself, I am Nurse Pam. I'm also one of the full-time hospice nurse serving in this ministry. So there are 5 parts in my sharing today. I will first talk about the history and evolution of hospice care, and I will explain what is hospice and palliative care and their goals. Then I would like to share with you 3 patient stories and what are the common misconceptions in our society about hospice care. Lastly, I will share with you the ministry updates. So, I wonder, when you hear of the word hospice, what do you have in mind? Is it about death and dying? What about palliative care? How is it related to hospice care? Are they both similar? How do hospice and palliative care relate to Christian ministry and witnessing? These are some of the questions that I hope to answer in the given time today. So, as a start, may I have a show of hands? How many of you here have heard of the term hospice and palliative care? Thank you. So in 2015, a local survey was done to find out the public awareness about palliative care. There were a total of 600 respondents. Guess what the results show? Only 25% of the people said yes, and as high as 75% majority said they have no idea what is palliative care. Let's have a few quizzes. What I would like you to do is I want you to keep the answers to yourself. Then later on, at the end of the talk, we will go through the question again together. So are you ready? Question number 1. Is palliative and hospice care only for cancer patients? Yes? No? Maybe? Question number 2. Is palliative and hospice care only for those who are in their last days of life? Yes? No? Maybe? Last question. Is palliative and hospice care can only be provided at the hospital? So I want you to keep the answers first. So how did hospice care begin? Let's look at the definition of hospice, which originated from the Latin word called hospitium, which means hospitality, place of rest, and for shelter. The word hospice was first used during the medieval times, around 12th century. The historians believed that the first hospices were started by the Crusaders in Europe, who at that time saw the needs of the pilgrims to and from Jerusalem, as well as the needs of the poor, the hungry, the terminally ill, and the dying. And throughout history, all the hospices were run by the Catholic nuns and monks. So as you can see, hospice has a strong Christian heritage. And after the 16th century, hospices had then become specialized places to care for the dying. And in 20th century, the influence of hospice care spread across to Australia and the America. I would like to introduce you to this lady, Cicely Saunders. She is the founder of modern hospice care today. Cicely Saunders is a Christian. During the World War II, Cicely Saunders started off as a social worker, and later on she became a nurse. Then she furthered her studies and became a doctor. And along her medical journey, and also the experience of her father's death, Cicely Saunders began a whole new paradigm shift towards how the terminally ill and dying patients should be cared for. So what is the paradigm shift and philosophy of Cicely Saunders? In the past decades and even till today, when there is no more curative treatment can be offered to a patient who have cancer, for example, very often the doctors will discharge the patient home, and the patient is just like virtually waiting for their imminent death to happen. But Cicely Saunders insisted we must not give up and stop caring for them. We must continue to care for these patients holistically with respect, compassion, and dignity, rather than just only focusing on their disease alone. When you care for the patients and their families holistically, you will realize there are so many needs that need our help and attention, which I will elaborate further in this sharing. Let me read these words to you in Colossians chapter 3, verse 12. Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. So what is hospice and palliative care? And what are their goals? Let's first look at the definition of palliative. It originated from the Latin word called pallium. It means cloak, cover. When you provide palliative care to a patient, it is like you are putting a cloak to wrap around them with care and comfort to hope to reduce their sufferings along their disease journey. So in English dictionary, palliate is defined as to relieve, to alleviate, and to reduce. So in 1990, World Health Organization has recognized palliative care is specialized medical care for people living with serious and life-threatening illness. So who can benefit from hospice and palliative care? They are individuals who have a serious and life-threatening illness, including cancers, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. This is a lung disease that commonly seen in people who are chronic smokers. End-stage dementia, end-stage AIDS, end-stage organ failures including heart failure, kidney and lung failure. For kidney failure, due to their medical condition or social circumstances that they are unable to receive regular dialysis, this group of patients will definitely benefit from hospice and palliative care. End-stage liver diseases like liver cirrhosis caused by chronic hepatitis B, hepatitis C infection. End-stage neurological diseases like Parkinson's disease, motor neuron disease. So what are the goals of palliative care? The goals are to improve the patient's and family's quality of life. We want to reduce their pain and other distressing symptoms. And we hope to help them to live out their days as comfortable and meaningful as possible until they pass away. So how do we achieve these goals? We achieve these goals by caring for the patient holistically in these 4 domains: physical, social, psychological, and spiritual. I apologize for this busy slide. The important message that I would like to point out here is that when a person is struck by a serious and threatening illness, They have multi-dimensional needs in these 4 domains. Physical, they could develop nausea, vomiting. Social, they could lose their job and their social relationship are being affected. Psychological, they could experience anxiety, helplessness. Spiritual, patient can resent fate and angry at God. So I would like to bring you to the difference between hospice and palliative care. As you have heard of me using these 2 terms interchangeably. So are they different? The answer is no. So hospice and palliative care, they both share the similar goals and medical practices. In Malaysia, hospice is the term that refers to the community non-profit organization, hospices like Faith, Hope, Love, like us, that we administer, we provide the palliative care at the patient's home, at their doorstep. Whereas palliative is the word used in all the hospital settings. Great. I would like now to share with you 3 patients' journey to give you better understanding. Mr. Lim, who was 54 years old when he was referred to us, he had final stage of lung cancer that has spread to his skin, brain, and bones. Mr. Lim was single and had to take care of his elderly mother and also a sister and brother who suffered from mental health illness. Mr. Lim was not highly educated. He worked to wash fish tanks at the people's home. And when Mr. Lim was ill, he was taken care by his youngest brother, who is mentally healthy. He was a non-Christian when we first met him. Thank you, Sam. So, let's look at what he has suffered. Physically, due to his cancer, he has an intense bone pain, breathing difficulty, generalized weakness, skin breakdown, paralysis because of the cancer went into one side of the brain, so he was not unable to self-care. So how do we help him? I still remember when we first visited at his home, he looked so helpless and distressed, lying on a tin mattress on the floor. And his siblings are also looking so helpless and distressed, do not know how to manage him, can't carry him up. So what we did is we loaned him a hospital bed and also a mattress to reduce the risk of him developing bed sore. We loaned him an oxygen concentrator and also a wheelchair. And throughout our journey with him, we educate the siblings how to take the medication properly. What are these medications is all about. And during his last phase of his life journey, he became unable to swallow. Then we started injection at his home to relieve his pain and breathing difficulty. So we also taught the caregiver, the siblings, to dress his wound. And our occupational therapists also went in to teach the family how to do a proper shifting technique from bed to chair, chair to bed. Yeah? And also our occupational therapists also perform some therapy to reduce some rigidity of the paralyzed hands and legs, to reduce all the stiffness, to reduce all the musculoskeletal pain for him. And socially, obviously, Mr. Lim lost his job and income. He needs to depend on family to take care, and also does increase the financial burden. So what do we do? How do we help him? We waive the deposit of the loan of equipment. By the way, the loan of equipment is free for all patients, yeah? So we only take a deposit. So for him, we waive the deposit. We supply free medication. We brought in some diapers and also some dressing material. Our medical team also went in to provide respite care. What does it mean by respite care? As you can imagine, the siblings are looking after him 24/7. So our team went in to help bathe him, clean him, change it, so that to give the siblings a break and a rest. So this is called respite care. So psychologically, Mr. had a lot of grief, anxiety. He was very fearful, loss of direction, and he was very panicked. And we use professional communication skills to explore what are his psychological needs, what was his anxiety, what did he fear most. And we also explore if he has any unfinished business or any wishes. So spiritually, he was in great despair, troubled, insecure, helpless, and fear of the unknown. I still remember he was having a very stern face and said, "I can't sit here waiting. I must do something. I must do something." So as our team, seeing his distress, seeing his struggles, we know only Jesus can help him. So I asked him, "Mr. Lim, can you give me 5 minutes to talk to you about Jesus?" He did not say yes immediately. He thought about it, then he nodded. So we shared the gospel with him, 5 minutes, because he's very weak and tired. Then we started praying for him. Since then, we managed to get an opportunity to pray for him every time before we left his house. That time was during lockdown with traveling distance limitation, remember? Thank God we managed to find a pastor who is Cantonese speaking and also is a male pastor who visit Mr. Lim. So he is Pastor Zhou. He ministered and shared the gospel to Mr. Lim, also with subsequent visits. And I think shortly, Mr. Lim decided to accept Jesus Christ as his personal savior. And about a month later, Mr. Lim indicated very clearly that he wanted to be baptized. So Pastor Zhou baptized him. I can see since he accepted Jesus Christ, he looked different. He really had a peace. Before we left the house, we will reassure him about his salvation, about who Jesus is to him. Sometimes he was even able to crack jokes with us. So 2 months later, Brother Lim returned to the Lord and passed away peacefully at home. So I would like to share with you our second patient. She is Miss Soyi. She is 48 years old, a Myanmar refugee who held a UNHCR card. He was in Malaysia less than 6 months and was diagnosed end-stage kidney failure. He only speaks Burmese and stayed in a refugee center at Puchong. Because of her kidney failure, Soyi definitely needs regular dialysis to prolong her life. So she suffered from a lot of fluid overload, swelling all over, pain at the abdomen, and breathing difficulty. So our team, Nurse Kong, went to visit her regularly to look into her medical needs. So Soyi went to hospital Kuala Lumpur a few times when she developed all this physical suffering. But it cost a lot because of her refugee status. And we know that for the financial constraint, there is no way for Soyi to receive regular dialysis in Malaysia. Our team actually called up various non-profitable dialysis centers to see if they can accept Soyi. But unfortunately, all the profitable dialysis centers in Klang Valley only for Malaysian citizens. So Nurse Kong explored with her. Soyi knew without dialysis, she will pass away very soon. Then we asked, what is your wish? So she decided to go back to Myanmar to be with her family. So through the CG at the UMC, Ms. Kong managed to raise enough funds for her to travel back to Myanmar and also the expenses along the journey. So we partner with the UMC Myanmar ministry leader who went to visit Soyi with us to speak her language. He shared the gospel, passed her the gospel tracts. And Soyi accepted Jesus Christ on the very day with joy. And this is Soyi's brother. He heard the gospel. When we asked him, would you like to accept Jesus? He said he is not ready. But I believe that the seeds of the gospel was planted, and he has witnessed the care and the support that provided by the Christian community. So this is my last patient who I'd like to share with you is Madam Puva, 45 years old, who suffered from stage 4 cervix cancer that has spread to the bones. So the husband is in prison, and he has 2 sons around 19, 20 years old, no permanent job, work as a lorry driver without a license. Very poor family support and limited financial means. Madam Puva suffered from a lot of pain because of the tumor. So she gradually cannot walk because of the tumor is very aggressive, pressing on the pelvis and the thigh was really painful. So I visited her regularly to look into her medical needs, how to adjust the dose of the morphine to control her pain. As you can see, we do a lot of education to help her understand how to take the medication, how to control her pain, and so on. And because her appointment is like 3 weeks later at Hospital KL. So how we help her is that our doctor contacted the cancer specialist in Hospital Kuala Lumpur to try to get Puva admitted to the hospital and not being turned away by the clinic nurse. So we wrote a letter and guided her what to say. So in the social aspect, she needs food. As you can see, the house is very bare. There's only one broken mattress actually lying on the floor, and she was getting more and more difficult to walk because of pain. So through our volunteer program, as you can see, Brother Terence visited with us, and we delivered food for her and also got her a simple single mattress where she can get up easily. Yeah, help her. And her sons actually also witnessed the care we provided to her mother. Yeah, and the son also more friendly after that. Yeah, because I think the son didn't know who are we and things like that. Hope we can witness for God. So as you can see through this 3-patient journey, when a person is struck by a serious and life-threatening illness, they have multi-dimensional needs in these 4 domains. So we hope through this ministry, we use palliative care approach to reduce their suffering. We hope to partner with churches to reach out to them, whether it's financially or physically. We hope to encourage church members to be our volunteers and ambassadors. So I'd like to talk about what are the common misconceptions about hospice care in our society. First misconception: does palliative care take away hope or give hope? So, in fact, palliative care gives hope and increases the quality of life. In 2010, New England Journal of Medicine has published studies about patients with lung cancer who receive palliative care compared to those with lung cancer that do not receive palliative care. And the research found that these patients who have palliative care, in fact, live 3 months longer than those who do not. The report also showed that they had better quality of life with 50% lower incidence of depression. Misconception number 2. Do you only refer patients to palliative care only in the last days of life? So in the old concept, when there is no more curative care, curative treatment, patient will then refer to palliative care. But Professor Murray, who is a consultant in palliative care, came up with a paper and suggested a better concept. Palliative care can go hand in hand with curative treatment. Initially, for example, cancer, initially the curative treatment will take the major role, and palliative care will take a more of supporting role. Okay? But let's say the cancer is not controlled and the cancer continue to progress and advance, then the palliative care will gradually take a major role. I give you an example. Mrs. B, 71 years old, has stage 4 colon cancer. When we saw her, that time she was undergoing chemotherapy. The main complaint she had for us is the mouth ulcer that caused by the chemotherapy that she has been suffering for at least 3 months. She said, I really want to eat because I want to gain weight to continue with the chemotherapy to prolong life. So our team prescribed the treatment to manage this mouth ulcer. So 1 week later, we went back to follow up. We visited her. The mouth ulcer, 90% was resolved, and she was really happy. She was able to eat and try to gain weight for the chemotherapy. So as you can see, while the patient is going through curative treatment, palliative care can go concurrently, hand in hand, to help our patients, not wait until the very last days. As you refer early, the more benefits the patient can be received from palliative care. If referred too late, they already semi-conscious, they are not able to communicate. The benefit is a lot if you refer to us early. Let me share with you our ministry updates. FHR ministry was established in year 2018. We started our patient registration in 2019, and this year, 2024, is our 6th year in service. We have 8 board members. They are church leaders, elders, and church members from different denominations, including Brethren Assembly, Methodist Church, Presbyterian Church, Anglican, and Assembly of God. So palliative and hospice care is provided by a multidisciplinary team. So who do we have in our team at the moment? We have 2 palliative care specialists. We have 3 palliative care nurses, 1 occupational therapist, 1 dietitian who is our volunteer, and 1 pharmacist who is our volunteer as well. And we have 1 hospice coordinator and 1 account administrator. So as you can see, we started in year 2019. We received 81 referrals. And to date, in September this year, we received 207 referrals. So thank God for the ministry that is growing. We serve cancer and non-cancer patients. As you can see indicated in blue, we have highest number of cancer patients compared to non-cancer patients. And we serve all ethnicity. As you can see indicated in blue, we have majority of Chinese, followed by Malay. And we serve all religions. Indicated in yellow, Buddhist patients are still the majority, followed by the blue color, who are Christians, patients who are Christians. And who refer to us? As you can see indicated in blue, our major referrals come from the government hospital, followed by the pink color, private hospital. Many patients has expressed and indicated to us that they would prefer to pass away at home, where they can be in their home with their family members. Because of Faith, Hope, Love Hospice Ministry, where we provide palliative care at their doorstep, at their home. So majority of our patients who are indicated in pink color are able to pass away at home. Then this is their wish. So we are registered as a non-profit organization. We provide free palliative and hospice care services to patients at home. Our source of funding include love gifts from churches, donation from Christians, donation from family after their loved one passed away, donation from the public, and through some fundraising activities. So how do you refer patients to FHL? Do contact hospice coordinator, first of all, to check whether patient resides within our coverage area, because we do have a coverage area. And the attending doctor need to fill up a patient referral form, which you can download from our website. After the doctor has filled up the form, either the doctor, the hospital, or the family can send the form to us via email or WhatsApp. Then our hospice coordinator will contact the family. The nurse in charge will then arrange to visit the patient at home and start journeying with them. This is the form that you can download from the website, but if you cannot and can't find it, just call us and we will assist you. If you can't remember anything I say, not to worry. What I want you to remember is that anything unsure, or you are thinking whether this friend of mine can benefit or not from FHL care, just give them our number, and Angeline will be able to assist them and ask questions so that to help them. Yeah? All right. What can you do and how can you help? Of course, you can join our volunteer team. We do provide training. And later, during the tea break, please come and speak to us. We do have a list of our volunteer area. In case you would like to volunteer yourself, do come and check with us. You can be our prayer warriors. You can be the companion to the patients, and we will guide you how to do it. Be our partners and ambassador. What do you mean by ambassador? If you know of someone not sure whether he or she will benefit from us, just tell them about our services, give them our contact. Of course, you can give a love gift, and if you are a nurse or you know of anyone who is a Christian nurse who would like to join our team, please feel free to contact us because we really need more nurses. All our volunteers, our team members are Christians because we are Christian ministry. So let's go back to our 3 questions. Is palliative and hospice care only for cancer patients? No. Brilliant answer. Is palliative and hospice care only for those who are in their last days of life? No. Perfect. Is hospice and palliative care only can be provided in the hospital? No. Fantastic. Excellent. All right. Now, so I would like to conclude. Hospice and palliative care is specialized medical care for people living with a serious and life-threatening illness. Hospice ministry is not just about death and dying, but its goal is to reduce pain and other distresses caused by the illness using a holistic approach. Receiving palliative care early will benefit the patients and families. We provide care to Christians and non-Christians through addressing their physical, psychosocial, and spiritual needs throughout their illness journey. We hope through FHL Christian Hospice Ministry, we can be witnesses for Christ together. We hope to partner with churches to be Christ's light to the community. I would like to conclude my sharing by sharing a slideshow with you. And Sam, please make sure that the audio is on. Sam, is the audio on? I can play now? Thank you. thank you very much to Bangsar Gospel Center for giving us this opportunity. Thank you.